Welcome, my friends, to session 19. Can you believe it? 19 sessions together. We're going to end, to wrap up, just 30,000-foot journey through the Bible by looking at the last book of the Bible. It's called Revelation. So, when turning to the book of Revelation from the rest of the New Testament, it feels as if you've entered a foreign country. It's like, wow, things have drastically changed here. So, here's what the Zondervan Handbook to the Bible describes Revelation. Here's what it says. The first Christians lived in eager expectation of Christ's return. But 60 years after his death, it still had not happened. Persecution was increasing, and some were beginning to doubt. So, Revelation's letters to the churches and the book as a whole were needed to encourage them to stand firm. God is in control, no matter how things look. Christ, not the emperor, is the Lord of history. He has the key of destiny itself, and he is coming again to execute justice. There is a glorious, wonderful future for every faithful believer, and especially those who lay down their lives for Christ. That gives us a sense of its historical context. So the nature of Revelation is an apocalyptic writing. It grew out of Hebrew prophecy like Ezekiel and Daniel in the Old Testament. So there's strong uses of images that are not accessible to us, like locusts with scorpions' tails and human heads versus salt and light images from the Gospels. And so you have all these weird dragons and stuff, and then oh, I know what it is that Jesus is a shepherd. You have all these different things. And so this word apocalypsis literally means the unveiling. That's what Revelation means. So Revelation is a prophecy. It's biblical prophecy. It's both a prediction of the future, but also a proclamation for the present. And that's important. And Revelation is a letter. It opens and reads like a New Testament letter. If you read in Revelation 1, 4, and 5, it's here's who's writing and here's who I'm writing to. So we need to remember that. Here's some special notes as we come to this interesting book. The primary meaning of Revelation, listen, is what John intended it to mean, which in turn must also have been something his readers could have understood it to mean. All right? It's important. We have to make Revelation. We only can apply it to the degree that it was applied to its first listeners and its first audience. He wrote this on the island of Patmos in 90 AD. So in order to understand Revelation, my friends, we cannot do what many people do and read it with the newspaper in one hand and Revelation and then try to connect them and mash them together. And this means that and that means this. It's not a great way to go about it. In order to do it, we need a pretty good hold of the New Testament to understand Revelation. It has over 500 allusions to the Old Testament. Any key to interpreting Revelation found first must be within Revelation itself. What are the original recipients in their own historical contents? What would they have thought about what John wrote? All right? We need to ask and be informed about how apocalyptic literature is meant to be read. How do you read Daniel and Ezekiel? The same type of thing is applied to Revelation. We need to remember that this book is not about events so much as it is a person. It's the revealing of Jesus, by Jesus, about Jesus. When we hear fantastical interpretations of the book of Revelation and it has nothing to do with Jesus, it should cause us to pause. We have to remember that Revelation is not simple chronological order. It describes what John sees next, not what necessarily happens next in his visions. And so oftentimes we misread it when you say, well, this happened, No. There's more fluidity than that. And as we approach this book, make sure we're exegeting, not eisegeting. The opening lines to Revelation, my friends, is not John to the suburban church in North America in 2022. That's not how it goes. It's to a particular place and a particular people. So how to read it, my friends? Read it with humility. We should avoid the easy sales pitches of Revelation where it's simple. You just have this one hermeneutical lens and it makes it all make sense. It's probably not true. We need to try to discover the message to its original readers, and so you're going to need help. You need help to do this. If there's any book that you need more help than any, it's probably this one. So, Discipleship on the Edge by Darrell Johnson is the book. Please, if you're going to do it, if you're going to study it, please get Discipleship on the Edge by Darrell Johnson. Another helpful one is The Throne, the Lamb, the Dragon by Paul Spilsbury, both credible voices in this conversation. Don't try to discover a chronological map. Take it seriously, but don't take it literally. Pay attention. When John identifies an image, he tells us what things mean along the way. So in 1:20, he actually says these lampstands are the churches. And so sometimes the author helps us to make those connections. Pay attention to Old Testament images, promises, and language. And focus on the main idea and then work your way to the details, not the other way around. Don't go details to main idea. Main idea, then to the details, and that will help you shape this. My friends, I want you to read Revelation 1-7. It's beautiful about the churches. And then commit yourself to doing some work in the rest of the book. You will be blessed.